Ahoy gamers, and welcome to a new series as we play through Path of Exile 2 as a hardcore solo self-found. This is a slow time series as we play through the story, we listen to each of the quests, and we make our way through the game. We start this first episode off with us attempting to play as a warrior. We make our way through Act 1, we fight a lot of bosses, and I mean a lot of bosses. This game is action-packed full of bosses. And we make our way to a graveyard where we finish off this episode. Do we remain alive? Do we die? I don't know. You'll find out. So without further ado, let's jump on in. And here we are in Path of Exile 2 as we are going to be playing through as a brand new hardcore solo self-found warrior. Do you see here? This is the character I've been playing on stream. One of the many characters I've been playing on stream. I have put a good number of hours in this game so far. I've got to Act 2. That's as far as I've got with my hardcore solo self-founds. So we're gonna jump in as a warrior. We're gonna just keep pushing through. Obviously, I have my series that I've been streaming. This series is going to be a little bit slower compared to the stream, where I will be grinding maps as we go to make sure we get enough experience and enough gear. And I'm happy to use the vendors as required. So here, we're going to go for hardcore. We're going to go straight for warrior here. So, warrior, I wanted...
It is a pity to see you like this. You arrived on our shores a whipped and broken child. Our people made you strong. How were they repaid? Sedition and lies. Speak now if you choose.
There we go. So, we're going to be listening to all of the audio, talking to most of the NPCs have quests. There's a lot of lore which we probably won't touch. So here we are. So a warrior. The idea of the warrior, here's a bit of lore. So I wanted very little for myself. A forge, a bed. They took that all away when they burned down my home. Give me one good hammer, and they will find that there is nothing more dangerous than a man of peace roused to a war. The idea of this class is using heavy slams, stuns and knockbacks, and heavy defenses, which is pretty cool. So we go for hardcore solo self-found. As per usual, we're going to be Mr. Slothmer or Rothmer, depends how I feel in the games. Here we go, we're going to jump straight in, which is quite a interesting way of starting. I know roughly where I want to get to per video, so this... I'm going to wait for it to load into the starting area before I start talking. So I know roughly where I'm going to get to for each video. So this video I plan on getting halfway through Act 1, because unlike Path of Exile 1, Path of Exile 2, there's a lot of bosses, and they are quite strong. So on my streams, I've gotten all the way to Act 2, which is the end boss is down here. So the idea for this first video, to get to this graveyard over here and fight a boss, it's kind of like a halfway through Act 1 boss. So we're going to fight him before the end of this video. This video has overtaken my Diablo 4 series.
You're alive. I'm glad to see another living soul. Now, all those who drowned in the flooding, suddenly they ain't so dead no more. I would appreciate it if you could...
That's sad.
Reach Clearfell. Find the miller.
So he wants me to go find the miller in Clearfell. Clearfell's like the nearby town.
I'd best hurry.
As we go through this, I have learned a few things from the stream. So I'm relatively new still to Path of Exile 2. So I have learned some things off the streams that people have been telling me about, as well as I've learned a few things off of my Discord. So I am going in as relatively blind, but I know roughly what to expect, at least in Act 1. Obviously, when we get to Act 2, this is all completely new to me when I get to Act 2. But we'll see. And as I was saying, this series will be overtaking my Diablo 4 series, because I'm not enjoying Diablo 4 compared to Path of Exile. So I will probably go back to Diablo 4 in the future, just not yet. So here, I've got shield. Shields are really good. It gives you passive block abilities. So passively, it will give me a 26% chance to block without any additional builds or additional add-ons to it. Or I can hold down right click and I can block, which you can get this active skill. It doesn't have to be right click, but it's an active skill now, which is raise shield. There's a few other things as well. We now have a stagger bar, which is this bar here. which I'll show you in a second.
Now
Right.
this
So
might be
skill
just
gems have changed. I'm going to turn off tutorials, but skill gems have now changed. So instead of before where you put skill gems into your items or weapons, you can now, if you right click a skill gem, you can, this is your skills all here. You have a limitation of how many slots you can put. So this counts as a strength skill gem, I believe. If I put that over here, or okay, no, that's the support gem capacity. Sorry, ignore what I just said. So this is your skill gems here. I could put this on here, then I can now put this down onto my bar down here. These are the active support gem slots each of them get. So when you level them up, they get more support gem slots, which makes sense. Yeah, so I was saying I'm not really enjoying W4 compared to this, so that's fine. I'll show you the stagger mechanic in a second. So every mob now has a stagger bar. So when I hit them, they've got a little orange bar that appears below their life. As that goes up, once that maximizes, they will be stunned, and then they can take extra damage. This is a big mechanic for the warrior, which we'll show when we get there. And as well as you can now see, as I'm blocking these attacks, this orange bar here is going up. When that goes all the way to the top, that is my stagger bar. So they can stagger me exactly the same way as I can stagger them, which is really cool. And here's the checkpoint. So here's the boss, which is essentially akin to Hillock. And dodge. You can dodge again as so you just press space to dodge. Dodge hasn't got a cooldown, but you need to finish your animation of your previous dodge. Potions work exactly the same as in Path of Exile 1. However, you only have 1 mana, 1 health pot. And so I can use my skills. So my Q skill is that Rolling Thunder, Rolling Cascade, whatever it's called. What it's called, Rolling Slam, close enough. Really cool skill. So all attacks can be blocked, in theory. If they shine red before they do an attack, it cannot be blocked. So here, this attack cannot be blocked. So you want to definitely get out of the way of that. And there you go, he's staggered again, so he takes a little bit extra damage. Now I can get out of the beaten zone. Swing in again. So Rolling Slam's a really cool skill. And I'll definitely get out of the way of that. And bonk. So rolling does not give you invincibility frames, which is interesting.
Sorry, Brannock. It was me or you.
There you go. Sorry, Brannock. Right, so he's dropped some stuff here. You pick all this up. More importantly, we now have this. We leveled up. So this is the skill tree. Very much like Path of Exile 1. Different classes start in different areas. So warrior starts here. I believe the sorceress. Is it sorceress? No. I can't remember who starts here. It looks like it's going to be the sorceress, but I don't think it is. Because the sorceress starts on this area here, I believe. Yeah, sorceress starts here. The witch starts... This might be the witch starting area, I can't remember. No, the sorceress definitely starts there. The monk starts here. The ranger starts here. Mercenary starts here. So whatever one I didn't say, which I think was the witch, but it doesn't look like the witch's starting area. Anyway, besides the point. So we start here. So we can go straight for armor. So we want, just like our previous builds on warriors, we want a lot of health regen. So we want to go get this restless, or relentless, I mean, which gives us health regen. Probably get these down here, health regen while moving, more block. As we go, there'll be a link down in the description that every video we do, I'll update my build for that video. So if you want to see what I'm doing with my build, if I haven't covered it in the video, you can at least see what I've done.
You're alive.
Like, okay, Renly's apparently my father.
Where have you been, lad? I've been worried sick. I looked for you everywhere after those soldiers came for you, but when I found neither hide nor hair, I had to believe, well, it's a good thing you managed to escape the Count's justice. Let's just say that. It seems the first ones have graced us with fortune. We could sorely use your strength in these dark times.
Okay, this is giving us a skill gem.
There's a beast of particular dark power stalking us out in the felling. It moves unseen under the dirt and attacks without warning. We can't leave the walls to find food, and I've been unable to corner and slay the beast myself. if you could channel your violence against this devourer, as Finn calls it, we'd be indebted to you.
Okay, so that's one quest there. So this physically gives us quests, which is pretty cool. Everyone spins around as well when they're... So you've got WSD movement. If you've got WSD movement, everyone spins around, which is pretty cool.
To the camp of the lost.
Here's Miss Una.
I am Una. You must have
Oh, I
heard
just
the
missed that
rumours in the
conversation there.
village. All this began the night Count Gino took his most loyal men into the Grellwood. That's when his growing madness began. Something happened out there. Please, I beg of you, travel to the forest and begin your search. There must be some clue as to what took. I fear that Harlan's sickness will only deepen unless something is done.
Okay, that's fine, Una. We can do that. We're going to sell our stuff here. So compared to Path of Exile 1, you don't... When you buy and sell things, you just use gold. So I've got a bit of gold from when I've played this on my on stream. Then you can disenchant rare items. I have no rare items. You can disenchant them to get some better currencies. For this series here, so this is from everything from my streams. I'm going to be using Stash 4 for this character as we make our way through, so to keep him as solo self-found as possible. Right, skill gem. So this is how the new skill gems work as well. So when you're going through, so you've got all these different types of skill gems depending on, so you've got all the gems here. You can just click on all the gems. You've got different levels. Level 1s can obviously only give you level 1 skills. Some of these weapons don't have anything to them. Occult is the witch. So you can get, if you had the spirit for it, which we'll cover spirit later in probably next week's video. If you've got the spirit for it, you can make minions. You've got different spells here. Elemental is just magic as per usual. Dagger hasn't got anything in here. Quarterstaff is really for the monk. These are all kind of elemental physical damage. Bow is ranger. Spear isn't in the game. Sword's not in the game. Crossbow is for the mercenary. Axe isn't in the game. Mace is in the game. So we're going to be looking at these mace skills. There's nothing stopping me from using any of these. I'm not going to, but there's nothing stopping me from using them because I really like what the warrior already starts off with. So we're going to start with Bone Shatterer. So each of these skills are really good as well. So if I click on them, if I've already unlocked them, it won't do it. But if I click them...
Earthquake creates jagged ground that slows enemies. After a few seconds, the ground explodes with an aftershock, dealing a large amount of damage.
So there we go. It tells us what the skill does. So we're going to go on Bone Shatter here. What does Bone Shatter do?
While Bone Shatter is equipped, monsters display these indicators when their stun meter is almost full. Use Bone Shatter to stun them instantly and deal a high damage explosion around the target.
So that is kind of the stagger mechanic for this class kind of explained. So every class kind of has its own little mechanic. The monk has very much a similar mechanic. So we're going to go into Clearfell. Now in this game as well, unlike Path of Exile 1, if you go in, if you pause, if you press escape or you go into any big menu, the game pauses in the background, so you're not at risk of dying. So the menu now, the map. So this is the map. So we're in this place called Clearfell. We're going to be making our way to the Mud Burrow. Before we go, though, we've got a few things we need to do in this region. So we've got the Clearfell, but the quest here, we've got Treacherous Ground, which is find the Mud Burrow, which is this area here. That's fine. We also have these random slots in each map. So if you hover over them, there's this witch hut over here. It tells you what map it's in. So that witch hut is in Grellwood, which is the next map. These here, mysterious campsites, that's in Clearfell. So that's something of note, something of interest. So you want to kind of do all these, because they will give you a reward. The main rewards you want are these, the ones that have pluses on them. These are permanent rewards, which are really good for your account. So this one we definitely want to do. This plus reward here. Then if we go over here in the burrow, we've got Exploded Millers in the first map. In the burrow, there is a boss in there. So some places are underground, and then you can see the boss under here because it's underground. I haven't yet found out. That's how I do it. Never mind. I was going to say I don't know how to toggle it, but you can toggle it just by pressing that button there. So we're going to run around and search those two areas. There will be some parts of this I will be cutting out because it's really just the bosses which we're really going to struggle at. When we're not at the bosses, I'll probably cut out a lot of this, unless we start finding out some really tough mobs, which we might not. But the bosses are really fun stuff, so we'll probably keep as we explore. We'll cut out just the normal, just us running around. You can see here the mechanics happening a lot. So they've got this golden orb above them, a middle mouse click, which gives me bone shatter, and I hit them for big
I have
damage.
received reports of a number of villagers hiding at
Okay, I was hoping that would continue talking.
Travel there and convey my. I have received reports of a number of villagers hiding at the Clearfell logging site. Travel there and convey my order to return. Anyone refusing my authority should be considered a traitor and a criminal. Deal with them as you see fit, but bring their bodies back to the manor.
So what seems like what's happened is the Manor Lord, not the video game, but the guy that actually owns the manor, he's gone a bit crazy. We don't know why just yet. So we are essentially, we want to kind of find out why. So at the moment we're just helping the people of is it Clearfell? Clearfell, to see what happened. And we'll just slowly bonk our way through here. These mobs aren't too bad. The rolling slam's a really good skill. Once again, I have got this earthquake skill, but I'm just going to put that in the bank. They don't level up like they do in Path of Exile 1, so if you're not going to use this, no point equipping it. And here is the way to the next map, which is Grellwood or Grell something. Yeah, Grellwood, that's the one. You can see that we take considerably more damage compared to Path of Exile 1. The damage scaling is very different in this. I've heard a lot of people in my streams at least say that this is kind of like a mix between Diablo and Dark Souls, which I would agree with. So here's the boss in this area. Not every area has a boss, but most do. So the idea here is to try and break her stun bar. We can tank a lot of her damage, and as soon as we get her low enough, there we go, we can now bone shatter her, and there we go, she's stunned. And then we want to take her on all of the wolves as we can, because they will give us more charges for our potion. Okay, let's avoid all this damage. This is what I mean, like, there's so many more epic fights in this. And every map will have, well, most maps will have some form of epic fight like this. We just want to try and avoid all damage if we can, or as much as possible. And come on, down you go. Oh, I could have bone shattered her there. I didn't even notice that. There you go, take on all these mobs. Get out of this. And down she goes. Awesome. So we've got some items here. Green item here. She dropped this. Gives us cold resistance. So that is the plus that's on the map. That plus is this item that she just dropped. So I definitely want that. We're going to go for essentially a pure armor build. So anything that gives us more armor, the better. Armor evasion rating, that's not bad with some max life. Do lose some strength. Actually, no, that's what I've already got is already better. So that's fine. Right, so we're going to just run around a little bit. Hopefully we're going to level up a couple times. And we're going to make our way to this location here, the Mud Burrow. We'll see you when we get there. And here we are. We found the Mud Burrow. Mud Burrow is next to actually the entrance, or the exit to the Clearfell encampment. Mud Burrow, there's normally a waypoint. There's always a waypoint next to it. It's not normally, but there's always a waypoint next to it. You can just see there that Vile Hag hit us pretty hard. Just want to avoid this AoE circle, because that can actually, only low armor, low health classes like the Witch, Sorceress, Ranger, that can actually one-shot you. I have learned that the hard way.
How deep does it go?
So we're going to continue through this Mud Burrow. You can see that this is very different to some of the other maps we've seen. This reminds me very much of Joriel in Act 2 of Diablo 2. And what we're looking for here is the Devourer. That's the boss we want to fight in here. And we want to try and bonk everything down when we can. So this will be a tough fight. And this fight itself should, I think it gives me another skill gem, but it is a tough fight. It's kind of, I don't tend to like coming here straight away, although I have come here straight away every single time. I don't like coming here straight away each time. It's actually quite a tough boss. You have to be careful with these mudmen as well. If you're a low health class, they can one-shot you, which is very sad. You can see them in the wall as well before you approach them. So we're going to keep searching this area, and we'll jump back in when we find the Devourer. So before we head back out there, just in case you didn't know, Una does sell Scrolls of Wisdom, so you can identify your kit I wouldn't worry too much about buying the Scrolls of Wisdom, because soon you won't need them. So I'm going to go back to the Mud Burrow. And here, whenever you see a checkpoint, there's normally something nearby. So whether it's going to be a boss, whether it's going to be an encounter of some sort, checkpoints are always a good sign. So if you see them on the minimap, normally want to head towards them. We did pick up a couple items while exploring this area, because there's a few dead ends which have chests in them. We've got ourselves a two-handed mace, some boots, and a basic helmet. Also a new mana potion. In the well in town, if you use the well, it fills up your potions straight away. So here we are at the Vile Nest. This will spawn the boss. Here he is, the Devourer. So I definitely want to use a two-handed for this. Just because it increases the speed at which we stagger them. And stagger seems to be a huge part of the game now. And he should get... I should need to hit him one more time. Maybe. There we go. I can now bone shatter him. If he doesn't stop running. Get out of that. There we go. Now I can hit him. A couple big hits. He's at half health. This is actually a really tough fight if you ever do this. There's a few things you need to worry about. One would be just his general hits. So his melee hits are okay. But this poison, I want to avoid this poison. And then he does one poison spit, then another poison where he drops it all on the floor. So you want to avoid both of those. When he dives, he has a chance to jump back up like this. You want to try and avoid that. As well as he has a... There it is. There's a tail. Avoid his tail. I just want to show you the mechanic before we go on. There we go. You want to avoid his tail. His tail will just slam down on the ground. I think it has a poison attack as well. Just avoid his tail if you can. Really... If you're next to his head and the tail's nearby, just run. Like there. You can get double tapped by the tail and the head. And it can definitely be quite dangerous. Especially as a hardcore. There you go, he's down. Gave me some new items.
But to protect Clearfell,
so we've got this new mace, I guess. Which I guess that's better than what I've got. Two-handed mace, that is better than what I've got. So we're going to equip this. We have got the ability, actually, with... right click, so we can change. Right click gets shield up straight away. My left click will change back to the hammer. So that's what we're going to be doing. If there's a big hit we know is coming and we can't get out of the way, we'll try and block it. And then we can swing straight away. Quick change, which I quite like. But level 2 skill gems, this is how you level up your skill gems. You just get a higher level skill gem. It will reduce... It can increase the cost of mana. Tells me what I require. So this goes from... So if I level up Rolling Slam, goes from level 1 to requires level 1. Now it goes to requiring level 3. Requires 9 strength. And it goes up with the amount of mana as well. Some skills. So if I go to the occult. The more you level up the Skeletal Warriors, the Reservation of Spirit goes down quite substantially. So if you're struggling with... If you're a minion character and you're struggling with minions early on because you don't have enough spirit, which I'll explain how to get spirit another time. Just level up your... minions and now drop the spirit cost down quite substantially. So first thing we're going to level up is Bone Shatter, really good skill. So we're not going to run straight back to town, we're actually going to finish off this entire map. I might even fight this boss a couple times because you can recycle the maps just like you can in Path of Exile 1. So as soon as you leave the map you can press hold down control, click back on the portal to come back in and you just recycle the map. And we'll probably do that a couple times just because we can. I like the fight, it's a fun fight, and I kind of want to get slightly better gear before we carry on. To note as well, in this mud burrow you also have this down here, the hatchery. You'll see this on the map with a checkpoint as well, so sometimes it will take you to, like I said, most of these will take you to some form of event, and this is the event, another quote-unquote event in this area, which is quite useful. And so we've just got ourselves to level 5. We've done a fair bit of farming. One thing I would recommend, if you're struggling with hardcore, at least in Act 1, I would recommend doing a little farm. So you can go from the mud burrow, go down, kill the Devourer, run to this boss here. Then it's normally in the same location. Run, kill this boss, reset mud burrow, go down, back up, just keep rinsing and repeating. That's sad, level 44th position on the ladder just died. Anyway, yeah, just keep rinsing and repeating. And then you will get there. You'll manage to make something work. Because I tend to find the initial starting of Path of Exile 2, the initial part is hard. Once you get past the first hump, the first difficulty spike of essentially the first bosses, once you start getting gear, it becomes easier, and then you just hope you don't get unlucky with a random bit of RNG or what boss one hits you. So that's what I'd recommend if you're struggling. Just farm there. That took me about 15 minutes to farm, and I'll show you what gear I've got, because I've got some relatively good gear. On my backhand, I've got this shield here, really good resistances, get a bit of thorn, bit of armor, it's really nice. I've got this two-handed club. It gives me elemental damage with my attacks. I don't want that. That's one thing I would wish I didn't have on here, but that's fine. I'll explain why soon. I've got an okay helmet, got some okay gloves. Yeah, fine, this is okay. Yeah, the gloves are fine. Loads of armor. Boots are fine. Once again, gives me a bit more rarity find. And then my actual resistances at the moment, my resistances are okay. But yeah, so I would recommend that if you're struggling. So we're now in the Grailwood. So you've opened up the minimap. What do we need to look for? We've got a few things in this area. So we've got the Witch's Hut in Grailwood. We've got the Forgotten Witch. And then you've also got Bramblegast. And this here, which is the Tree of Souls. So we've got a few things to find. This is the first one. This is the Witch's Hut and the Witch.
It's been many years.
This is a trick.
Does the witch still live here?
This cauldron will always drop a medium mana and life flask. Don't equip them. Do not equip them. You'll see why. It's a trap. It's to teach you how. It's to teach you about a really good way of teaching you, but it's a way of teaching you about flasks. If you walk out of here, she will attack you, and when she attacks you, if you change your flasks around, you will have no charges. So I would not recommend switching. Just wait until you fight the boss and then switch if you need to switch, that is. I don't think we need to switch. Although we might switch the mana one. There we go. Nice and easy. Let's probably switch the mana. That's the wrong one. This is the mana. Amazing. So we do have this new ring. Fine. We don't actually need it. I don't know why I identified that. We don't need the mana rings. So here we go. Uncut support gem. So we're going to right click this. So all of your skills have obviously a mana. You're able to put support gems into them. They have all of them start off with 2 sockets. You've got 2 sockets here. So my mace strike is my two-handed weapon. You hover over them to see what the skill is. This is my main attack, my main melee attack. So I think probably for my main melee attack, I want to put something like Rage on it. So these are the recommended ones. You don't have to go for the recommended ones at all. You can just go, unclick this box here, and then you can make your build whatever you want your build to be. So I know full well that I want Bone Shatter. I don't want Bone Shatter to do any Chaos or Elemental resistance. This is why I didn't want Elemental damage on my weapon. So we are going to go for Brutality for now on Bone Shatter. So Bone Shatter is going to do more damage. However, 35% more damage, but it won't do this. 3 to 6 damage plus 43%. So that's 3 to 6 plus 43%. So that's going to increase it by... My max amount of damage I can do with one hit will be 8 there. So it's not going to do that potential high of 8 elemental damage. It's just going to do raw physical damage, which I want it to do. That's fine. It's not the end of the world that it does. I'm not going to do that elemental damage when I do Bone Shatter. My average hits will do that elemental damage, but Bone Shatter, that attack there, will not be elemental. But it's fine. When we get later on, we'll have a choice of our melee weapons anyway. We should find better two-handed clubs. There's a few things we're looking for in this place. We're looking for the other boss, Bramblegast. We're also looking for the next maps. The reason why I'm looking for the next maps now is that most maps in this game, or at least in Act 1, the waypoints are at the start of each zone. So it's really easy, one, to farm the zone, because you can just waypoint into the zone. You're going to be at the start of it rather than in a random location. And it just makes life easier when you're going through the story. And I need to do something in this map, but I can unlock the next map, so I can just teleport to as and when required. So we're just going to go around and look for them, and hopefully, I don't think we're in risk of dying at the moment. Once we level up one more time, I'll show you what I've done for my skills, but we're going to just run around this map. The reason why I'm checking this right hand side as well is it's one of the zones is normally on this right hand side wall. So something they've done with the map design is, so this is the map. These, where the next maps are, kind of indicate where it's going to be roughly on the northeast southwest kind of axes. So if the next zone is on the southeast of on the map here, is on the southeast of the map here, it's going to be roughly on the southeast of the zone, which makes sense. Path of Exile 1 did it as well, to be honest. So we're looking for Red Vale, which is here. You can tell normally when there's a torch, there's a map or a location. So I'm going to grab the... where is it? Waypoint's just here, like I said. Beginning of every map. We'll be here later on. Hang on, I don't think... We can do this map now. There's no reason why we can't do it early. Because it's telling me that there's some items I can grab here. Yeah, search Red Vale for Obelisk of Power. So we may as well do the map now. Before we're going to go to Clearfell to grab the quest reward. So a bit backwards and forwards, but this is fine. So we could do Red Vale now. We're not going to do it because we want to learn about the story first. So Devourer slain.
Oh, finally! Took down the Devourer, did you? Oh, that's incredible! This is the first real success we've had against the darkness. We can breathe a bit easier now. Perhaps even go out and gather food. Now, this won't cover our debt to you. Not nearly. But take it as thanks.
Awesome, thank you very much. And you've given me a skill gem again. A support gem, I should say. So, level 2 skill gem. Let's level up Rolling Slam. And then we've got this skill support gem here. So, Earth Shatter. So, stuff like Execute. More damage against enemies with low health. Impact Shockwave. No, we're going to go for Mace Strike. I'm going to go for Rage on Mace Strike. So as I melee attack them, I'm going to build up Rage. And for those that don't know, if I hold down Alt while I'm hovering over a skill, it allows me to move my mouse. I can pin this, so it's stuck there. Or I can unpin it. And then if I don't know what things are, I can just hover over it. So Rage here gives me more attack power. I can build up to 30 Rage, and I lose Rage for every 2 seconds I'm not in combat. Quite useful. Right, let's head back to the forest. And we will do Red Vale later, because it is the part of the main story. So we'll just go back to the previous map. We're going to run around until we find all of the locations, and I'll just jump in when I find them. And here we are. So we found the Tree of Life. There's a hooded one on it, which is pretty cool. There's a court sentence in here. So what does this say?
Of the Count of Ogham, those condemned to hang from these branches are to be left until their hearts no longer beat, their lungs no longer fill with air, and their flesh is no longer warm. In death, you are not forgiven. Your souls will remain trapped here by this ancient moor of maligned wood, and the grove will be forever denied you. Rot here in the Grellwood for all time, and good riddance.
Okay, so this guy's obviously done something wrong to annoy the Count, that he's now stuck here forever. You can summon Una. What have you got for us, Una?
What happened here? This shade, is it still alive? Perhaps it can give us the answers we seek. Only the Count's sword has the power to bind souls to the tree like this. We must free it somehow. To release that being from the Tree of Souls, we'll need more than simply cutting his rope. The ancient runes that imbue the Count's blade created the binding, and only ancient runes can break it. There is a battlefield not far from here that runs red with rust, where the weapons and armor of countless Ezamites still remain. We call it the Red Vale. You should search the area. There may still be power in some of those centuries-old relics. Renly will know how to forge them, bring the runes to him, and then, perhaps, we shall find some answers.
Yep, that's fine by me.
I'll wait here.
I was wondering if these zombies were going to attack me. So that now gives me a reason to now go to the Red Vale. So here, so these places, so essentially they darken once you've killed the boss in them. So we've killed the bosses, we've got the loot, so they've darkened. As this is a slightly darker, slightly lighter colour, which means the Rust King is still alive. So let's head into the Red Vale. We need to find 3 runes of some sort. You'll be able to see them on the mini-map when we get close to them. But this map is really unextraordinary. It's a fine map. There's lots of undead here. This is the first time you really find more some of these ranged enemies. These bloom serpents. They are quite annoying, but they're manageable. Just be careful. They do poison you. So you've got you've got kind of low resistance to poison, which you will have at the beginning of the game, just be a bit careful. They're not as annoying as the porcupines at the very start, but they are still very annoying. And any ranged or AoE skills you just want to spam here. And okay, I want to hit these guys, please. Nice, there we go. Like I said, when we level up, we'll go through our skills. We'll go through the skills any second now. So take out this last bloom serpent. Nice, there you go. All right. So we made our way through here. Got a bit of armor, more life regen. We're going to get ourselves a relentless. And now we've got this. I believe we're going to go straight for some more life regeneration here. It's either we're going to go for that, or we're going to go for, there's a two-handed one somewhere. Which I can't remember where it is. I think it might be, here it is. There's a two-handed one here, which increases attack speed and damage with two-handed weapons. Damage with two-handed weapons. Increases area effect if you're stunned an enemy with a two-handed melee weapon recently. So these are very good to have. So we're probably going to make our way through here. Probably via this node here. Straight through, down here. Is it worth getting one of these? Increased armor, increased strength, defend against critical hits. It's probably worth me getting this one. Increase my armor even more as we make our way to this. That's our intention. That's where we want to go. Here is the first of the objectives. Once again, you see a checkpoint, you're probably near the objective. And there's Obelisk of Rust. So there's 3 of these in the map. So we're looking for some runes from it. There's 3 of them, so 2 of them will spawn a wave of enemies, which are relatively easy. If you've got good AoE or any AoE, this isn't too bad. You see I'm doing big damage, so this is fine. And yeah, we're just going to bonk our way through these. And down here, these should be the last ones. Nice, there we go. And we didn't build up any rage there, but that's fine. Probably, it may have been best to put my rage skill on my roll-in strikes, but fine. It's not the end of the world. And let's grab this chest down here. So something that's also in this game is the colour of the chests kind of determine what's going to be in that chest. So you can get yellow chests, you can get white chests, you can get blue chests. Doesn't mean you're going to get a blue item, yellow item, anything like that, but it just shows that the rarity of that chest. So if it's yellow, you're likely to get a few blues or something up to the value of a yellow. It doesn't always mean you're going to get a yellow item. And boop, big hit. And there you go, so yellow chest here. Does not mean we're going to get a yellow item, which we didn't that time. Thank you very much for helping me out that game. But we are going to pick this up. We are just picking up any blues because it does sell in the shop. We want to get as much gold as possible. So I think we use gold later on when we want to redo our build. You can re-spec by paying a load of gold. Right, we're going to run around until we find the next 2 obelisks. And there's one obelisk here. Let's take this one out. It was right next to where I paused the recording. It is convenient, I guess. And all we're going to do is just keep spamming rolling strikes. Whenever I see someone with a high build-up of stagger, I'll then just middle mouse button and hit them with bone shatter. Because that is my big hit at the moment. Really, really a lot of damage it does. It does a lot of damage. That's what I tried to say there. Right, we've got one more to collect.
Who is that?
Which, there's a checkpoint here. Does that mean it's this way? No, doesn't look like it. And here we are. Here's the last obelisk of rust. This will spawn. It says down there, ghostly voice. This will spawn the goat and the Rust King. A pretty cool fight. He's just a really tanky boy. He just summons a load of random attacks with his swords. Just be careful of those. But all in all, we should just be able to keep meleeing him. And then one more hit. And then stun him. So I don't know this guy as well as any of the other bosses. So I can't really give you a rundown of what to avoid. He does spawn ads like this. And then whenever he looks like he's going to do a telegraphed attack, just essentially just try and avoid it. His attacks are really heavily telegraphed. So you can definitely avoid them. And like this. Just want to keep meleeing him, and he's almost down. As long as you stand near enough behind him, you're fine. And he's dropped a few items we may want here.
Go with honor. There is
I don't think we want any of those blues. Do we have enough? Yeah, we do have some room in our inventory.
My satchel is full.
We had room in our inventory. Right, back to town. Then we can sell everything we just got. We did get a few... did we get any... It's got 2 new skill gems. We've got level 3 skill gem, which gives us the next line of gems. So we've got Armor Breaker here. A powerful blow, knocking enemies back and weakening their armor. Really good because it does actually break their armor. So I can actually listen to the video here.
Using Armor Breaker repeatedly against enemies will break their armor, allowing you to deal more physical damage. Look out for this symbol.
Yeah, so yeah, fine. Infernal Cry. What's this one?
Infernal Cry puts a debuff on enemies that makes them explode when they die. It also increases the damage of your next attack. The more enemies around you, the larger the boost.
I think
If
we're
you have
probably going to go for
endurance
Infernal Cry.
charges, Infernal Cry will consume them to boost additional.
Fine. Shockwave Totem is just a normal totem.
Shockwave Totem repeatedly thumps the ground, dealing area damage. It causes an extra shockwave from any jagged ground it hits.
So this synergizes quite well with Earthquake. If you use an Earthquake, then Shield Charge.
Shield Charge is best used for stunning a small group of enemies. This skill does more damage and thus more stun, based on the armor value of your shield.
Which is pretty cool. If I was going Shield, that'd be something I'd definitely go for. But I'm going to go for Infernal Cry here. And move you down here. And Infernal Cry is going to go on E. And I don't need any of these other skill gems. Something this game has is this, runes. So rather than using gems you put into your skills, you put runes into your skills. This rune here, Iron Rune, 20% physical damage. So if I had a slot in my weapon, that'd be really good. Or 20% extra armor, evasion, or energy, which is actually pretty good. All this stuff here, I'm not gonna bother identifying any of them. I'm just gonna sell them straight to Una. And then any yellows, you should probably, if you come out of this, go to disenchant. You can just disenchant it, and it gives you these regal shards. You want regal orbs; they're quite useful. Once again, because I think we've got a regal orb in here. We only have regal shards. That's fine. But once again, we're only using this inventory here, and we don't need these level 2 skill gems. That's fine. Right, let's go and talk to Renly. What have you got for us?
Here are your spikes, but be cautious. They stayed warm after forging, no matter how many times I quenched them. I would ask what you need these for, but I'm putting my trust in you.
Probably best not to ask. Ruined spikes. Thank you very much, Renly.
Oh, well.
I now need to go back to Grellwood. And waypoint. Where are we going? So we are going to... Boom. This place is right next to the waypoint, which is really useful. And we now need to bonk these into the seals. Okay, we could talk to Una here, but
Release that which
we know what we're doing. One more seal, 2 more seals I should say. Bonk. And last one. Perfect. Okay, it looks unwell, to say the least. Oh,
He's
tried to hit
unconscious,
Una there.
but he's breathing. Though, this wound. We should take him back to Clearfell. He may be the only one who knows what truly happened out here.
Okay, so you want to go back to Clearfell, which we can do. We'll see you there, Miss Una. And let's go. What have we got for us, Una?
The wound. It should be fatal, but somehow he clings to life. I fear it will not be long until his song ends. He will never heal while the Count's binding still holds sway. Only by a Count's hand can this binding be released. I know an old tale, one that speaks of a ring we might be able to recover, buried 3 centuries ago in our ancient graveyard. A Count's signet ring, bearing his rune of authority, but how to reach it in time? The grim tangle. The overgrown sinkholes and gullies that run beneath Ogham can lead you there. The path is dangerous, but go back to the Grellwood, find the entrance. We shall see if the spirits of this land still have the will to see you through.
Okay, so that's our next quest. So we have to go back to the Grellwood, find this map. We didn't find the entrance to this last time when we was in Grellwood. So we go back here. We're going to find the tangled, the Grim Tangle. and we'll continue the story. And we found the Grim Tangle right here. Just summon Una to give us a hand.
Here, for now.
If the Fae spirits are still watching, I believe they will help us.
And there you go. She does a bit of singing. Lovely singing voice. And let's go.
Old magic still thrive.
So this area here, if we toggle, this is underground, toggle here. There was a boss in here. Ervig the Rotten Druid. So you can see if it's an underground place because it has a little like an up-down symbol and it's a cave. So yeah, got Ervig the Rotten Druid in this area.
Open.
So this is
Hurry.
actually where I lost my first character. You can see how strong my Infernal... Is it Infernal Cry is? Yeah, Infernal Cry. So when they die... So I kind of want to jump into a load of enemies. I'll shout, use my Infernal Cry, and then I'll just show you how much damage it does. So you cry once. See if I can take out one mob here. Yeah, okay. They all explode, mini explosions. Really good if there's a load of mobs. So it's trying to get everyone together. And then... Okay, most of them... Okay, it is really strong, but they need to be very tightly packed. The range of the damage isn't very good. We did get nice stuff here, though. That's pretty cool. Freezing shards. We're not going to use that because that sounds like magic. Magic. So yeah, we're not only going to make our way through this map, we're going to get to the druid. So we'll probably jump back in when we get to the druid. And we found the druid. He just sat here doing mind his own business, doing some magic. Hopefully we can get him to stun. There we go, stun him. Boom, big hit. So you have to be really careful. He does a good number of attacks. He essentially spawns... He has melee attacks. This one, he just kind of hits the floor and these little tentacles pop out and they just keep attacking you. It's quite strong. This one you just want to be outside of that circle because he'll just teleport you. This skill here, he has a big rock. He throws a rock at you. And this one, he has one skill where he essentially just... Yeah. So he just attacks the floor, which makes the floor explode. That little golden attack. Not too dangerous. It's Infernal Crime again. There you see that teleports you. Ideally it teleports you into the center. And if it teleports you into the center, the tentacle will explode doing big damage on you. There you go. Here's the rock again. Dodge the rock. He'll teleport. You can walk straight through the center. It does slow you down. Probably not ideal to walk through the center, to be honest. There you go, and he's down. Just like that. So we've got another support gem. So we now have... It's a rolling slam. So actually, what's on this one? So Infernal Cry. More area effect. I think having more area effect would be good. For Corrupting Cry, spoiler gems have less area. Corrupted Blood. I don't think that's very good. We'll do... more area effects. I want those explosions to be better. And then I'll probably upgrade the effect of that afterwards to do more fire damage. And now we just need to find a way out of here. Which I shouldn't be too difficult. We just follow one of these paths. But I really did like that boss. It was the first actual boss that killed one of my characters when I played this on stream. And it was very sad. Killed my very first monk. But it did make me really think about how tough the game is. It's not a game that's for the faint-hearted. If you don't like dying, this is probably not the game for you. Like, you really need to, at least at the moment with the scaling, it is a lot of trial and error. Right, let's just get out of this place. And here we are on the way to the next map. You can see you're making your way to the next map because there's loads of like sarcophaguses and coffins everywhere. And then here it is. So, Cemetery of the Eternals. That's all you need to go through. Waypoint here. Always a waypoint. And this is towards the end of what we're going to get to in the episode.
He's taken my family hostage. They're being held somewhere beyond these gates. I never thought he would stoop this low. I sent for reinforcements, but... it's been so long. I must get through the gate. The keys. Where are the blasted keys? I believe those cowards took them.
Right, so he wants me to go and get the keys back.
Honor this request.
So this map has only one thing, an ancient ruin, which is only a couple chests, so I wouldn't really go out my way for it. Then you've got 2 tombs to go check. I'm probably just going to jump in when we get to the tombs, because this place doesn't really have anything to note. It's just more mobs, really. The mobs are pretty cool. There's 1 or 2 of them that are really cool. The Death Knights are pretty cool. And you've got some other ones which are... It carries this one. These burdened wretches. They just carry like big bits of stone. It's just a cool mob. Just trying to avoid their damage that they do. That's all. You can. It's very much telegraphed when they're about to swing down that big bit of stones. Just get out of it, really. Yeah, so we'll jump back in when we find. Oh, there's a rare mob here, and it's got big shields. Okay, annoyingly that didn't. Okay, there we go. Should be able to hit him hard here. Big hit. Okay, he's not got his big shield anymore. And now some of the scaling on some of the bosses. See, big hit. Avoid big hit. Just like that. We should be able... Oh, he has got big damage though. Yeah, we definitely need to be careful here. Like, every one of his attacks are just doing big hits. However, I am adamant to try and kill him. I don't know whether this will be my downfall, because you do have some champions in this that are very strong, like this one. I want a couple more hits. There we go, he's down. And didn't really drop anything on note. That's fine. We're going to just keep going. So we found our first tomb. So we've got 2 tombs under here. The Mausoleum of the Praetor, and you've got the Tomb of the Consort. Each of them has a boss. You've got Praetor's Consort, and you've got the Eternal Praetor. So we're in this one first. They've also both got some loot in them as well. So we probably won't show us getting the loot, but we'll show us fighting both bosses. Because this, noting how long the video is already going on for, I don't really want to show any of the kind of boring stuff. One thing I do note is that these Eternal Knights are just killed just there. One with the shield. Be very careful with that if you're a ranged character. If you use any magic or any range to hit that shield, you'll instantly, it will send back some like magic missiles, some skulls at you. Those skulls do a lot of damage. It will come back up in the boss fight. That's the only reason why I mention it now. So we've not been able to find the tomb. Oh, not the tomb, the riches, but there is the tomb here. Heart of the tomb. This boss is first of 2.
Your way has no
So this is the Praetor. So this is the mage. Then there's the other one, the other one we've had to fight is a melee. So here we just need to be really careful. I'll try and cover as many mechanics as I can. So she will spam some of those every now and then. Those AoE damage in circles. You just want to be out of them, really. She does a melee attack, which is fine. You can just... doesn't do too much damage. The next one is that she will spawn some random... as you just saw there. She would spawn a bone wall, which you shouldn't be able to just walk out of or roll out of. I think there's a bug at the moment. But as it stands, you can just roll out of it. She'll also say, "My love, I called to you," or something along those lines. She will spawn the other one. The other boss we'll fight in the next tomb. And he'll just come down and do some damage to us, which is fine. Just be careful. Here, you see these little spirits rolling around. Ouch. These little spirits on the floor. You just want to try and pick them up. By picking them up, you just need to walk over to them and you automatically grab them. And you just don't want them to reach her. I don't know what happens if it reaches her, but you don't want them to reach her. And then there you go. You can roll straight over that bone wall. She summons her lover again. And so we want to just keep doing as much damage as we can. I'll get out of this. Okay, so they do a fair bit of damage. But however, we should be fine here. There we go, she's down. Whew, she does spawn some of those knights. The reason why I mentioned those knights earlier, she does spawn a lot of them as we fight.
Your end will be.
So we've got some loot from that. Nothing that major. So we're now just going to make our way to wherever in this tomb there will be a... I think it's some form of vault or some treasure. Let's have a look at this map. So we're going to go back and look for this. The embattled trove. So we want to find this, then we'll go and find the next crypt. So we'll jump back in when we get to the next boss in the next tomb. And here we are, the second boss fight of the couple. I think they're lore-wise, I think they're like a husband and wife. Well, they were, because they're dead. Well, one's double dead. The other one's going to soon be double dead. Yeah, this one is more melee focused. So you just need to be careful of its big hits, which he does telegraph. And then that's one of the big hits. So essentially, whenever he talks, just to try and avoid him, make sure you pick up these bodies, these spirits, I should say. And so you also need to be careful with that. I'm not sure what does. I actually don't know what these little spirits do, but I think stopping them from reaching him is a good thing, maybe. And there we go. So he's started spawning his ads. This is a slightly harder fight when you're melee, because I didn't have that many problems when I did this on my mercenary. Okay, I really want to break his bar here. There we go. He'll spawn his wife. His wife will do these AoE circles. Just need to keep moving. I think it's like 3 small ones, 1 large one. Okay. Ouch, that's big damage. So we do need to be careful here. So we have got the totem. I'm going to drop the totem whenever I can. Just to try and keep some damage on him. Right, let's try and avoid these circles. A couple big ones. There we go, he's weakened. Okay, I really will need to take out some more of these mobs if I can. Ouch, gonna take a big hit. Oh, I couldn't avoid that. So this is going to be the first time where I'm actually a bit worried with my warrior. Right, let's see if we can hit this guy. We can, good. Very low health, but no more charges with our flasks. So we need to take out these knights. And hope that taking the knights out will give us enough flasks charges. Okay, let's try and keep out of these circles. Big one. There we go. Good. So how many charges have I got? Currently has 9 charges. See if I can kill this guy. See if it goes up. 9. That didn't go up at all. Hasn't. Okay, fine. So I now need to rely on my health regeneration as opposed to my flasks. So I'm just going to keep running around in circles, I guess. And yeah, just try to keep running around in circles. It's the only thing I can do at the moment. It's had annoying. But let's keep out of this. Ouch. That was not ideal. Keep pressing F rather than R. My totem's on R, not F. Right, can we...
I require your aid, Asinia.
Okay, his wife's now here. Right, just keep moving. Just keep moving. Run, 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 run.
Rend your soul.
Right, just keep grabbing some of these souls if I can.
Rend your soul. Succumb to the end. My beloved Asinia.
At least these totems do a fair bit of damage. If I can just keep moving, we should be okay.
Intrusion will be punished.
Right.
Asinia.
We need to finish this. Right, get away from these. Oh, right, this is getting a little bit too tasty.
Your master, succumb to the end. To me, Asinia.
Right, let's just keep dropping these totems on top of him.
My beloved.
We should be able to finish this in a second. Right, big hits, big hits.
Succumb to the end.
Right, avoid this. One more totem explosion. No! No! I hate this game. I hate this game so much. Well, that goes that. That goes that. So that's going to end this video. As you can probably tell, we will delete this character because I'm not going to play it unless it's hardcore solo self-found. Got to level 9. Delete. Yes. That is the first episode of this series of us trying to play through this game as a hardcore solo self-found. Not ideal that we died at the very end. I was hoping that we would get through that boss and then show the next boss, which is the midway point through Act 1. That's fine. That's fine. This game is tough. I should have probably done a bit of grinding, but that's fine. We'll move on. So, we're in this episode here. Made this far, thank you much for watching. I am a noob at this game. Completely fine if you guys call me a noob in the comments. I completely understand that I am a noob at this game. So, hopefully next week we'll continue. We will probably play a different character next week. I don't know what we will play next week. We'll definitely play a different character next week. And we'll just slow time get through the story. We'll cut through the story because this next week's video we won't need to go through all the dialogue. We just cut through there, get to the bosses and hopefully catch back up. So, if you made this far, thank you much for watching. As per usual, we have a few links down in the description. I won't have the build down in the description because my character's dead. He's now gone. There's no need to carry over the build because it doesn't exist. And then I've got a link to Mrs Rothmers YouTube channel if you like Lord of the Rings lore. Also have a link to my Discord if you want to join the Discord, join the community. It's slowly growing. Feel free to join. So have a wonderful day, everyone. And this series will continue next week. We are still carrying on the Path of Exile 1 series, and it's almost coming to an end, which is quite good fun. So have a wonderful week, everyone, and peace out.